Oh, welcome. Oh, welcome, welcome, wonderful one. Welcome to 4 steps to create the life you are ravenous for. Transmission from the sacred side. Oh, 4 steps to create the life that you are ravenous for. I am Ellie Paskell. I'm a somatic coach and I support bold and visionary and heart-centered beings like you to create lives of true aliveness and joy by following the guidance in your body. Oh, and I'm just so thrilled to see you all coming on here. And so I invite you to put your name and your location in the chat so that we can, so that I can welcome and greet you all. I've got hands raised. Hi. Hey, love.
Ellie, it's Daphne. How are you? I'm sorry to disturb you, but just so you know, the chat is disabled, at least from my end.
Thank you so much for telling me. Okay. How about now, guys? How about now? Oh, there's so many of you coming on. La 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 la. Okay, beauties, let's breathe with our bodies. And I am noticing what that did to my nervous system. So what a gift that was to allow me to drop in and really say hello to my felt sense and inviting you to do the same. And there is so many of you here, you beautiful ones. Ima, hello. And if it didn't get swallowed up within my technological fixings here, I invite you also to share in the chat the one thing that would feel most delicious to your body right now, whether that be a rest, a dance, a yell, a movement, a big old sigh, a hug, rolling in the earth, a piece of chocolate. Oh, so Gigi, welcome. Natalie, welcome. Michelle, so nice to see you. Isabella, great to see you. Christina, welcome. Laura in Wisconsin, welcome. Andy, Katia in London, Adri or Adri, Gian. Oh, so good. There's so many of you. Patricia in Canada. Andy's in Manchester. Oh, welcome. Evelyn in also Canada. Ursula, Ema's in Scotland, of course. Adri's San Antonio. Sylvia's in Glastonbury. Oh no, you're in Germany. Oh, Sylvia, you're going to Glastonbury soon. That's amazing. Hey, maybe we could meet up. Christy in San Diego. All right, my lovelies. I just can't read them all, but I'm so glad that you are here. Ema, yes to chocolate. Venetia, a hug. Yeah. Lisa, singing with arms spread wide. La 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 la. That's gorgeous, Lisa. What would you sing? Daphne, a stretch, a sigh. Hello, beautiful Tilly in Dorset. Energy. Chocolate, yeah. Kathy in Pittsburgh. Hello, Kathy. All right, beautiful. Dancing in the water, says Gian. Meeting with magical ones to chat and laugh, Michelle. Well, I hope that this next 75 minutes is going to give you some of that, Michelle. No worries, Patricia. All right, beautiful. Oh, wonderful ones. So let's take 3 breaths in here now to really land. You're here at this session today, 4 steps to create the life you're ravenous for because something is calling you. There is something that you want to be different in your life, and that might be a very specific thing that you know, or it might be a very specific feeling that you've been having that tells you something is off, And or it might be a positive feeling, a ravenousness, an inspiration, a desire for something new. Something is here, right? So take a breath with that. And we're dropping into the body now. And I'm going to invite you to do that with eyes closed if it feels good to you. First things first, we're coming to the felt sense because whatever it is that you are wanting to create in your life, your body will guide you on the most direct and delicious route to bring that to be, one breath at a time. Your body is wise. And let this space, this time together today, be radical space for you to give your body what she or he or they needs, whether that's lying down, moving, whether it's rolling about, standing up, sitting. Prepare to be surprised by what your body needs, wants, and desires, and let it take space. This is the true magic that you're here for today. Right. So take a breath with that and know that these 4 steps to create this life, I'm going to guide you in them today, and partly or largely that's going to happen when we take a felt sense embodied journey together. Also, I'm going to say a little bit more. There'll be a bit more introduction in which I'm talking about my journey of creating this life for me and how and why that happened. May this telling of it inspire and embolden you. And I'm also going to make a really exciting announcement today, and then we'll round off with another closing, grounding, integrative embodiment journey at the end. And feel free to be chatting in the box throughout. Feel free to share what's arising for you, what you're knowing, what you're needing, what you're experiencing. And if you have questions, it is all completely welcome. And important also to touch on the fact that today, the title of the session in full is 4 Steps to Create the Life That You're Ravenous For, Transmission from the Sacred Sites. And this is because we are being called to our life force at this time. We're being called to reconnect to what it is that truly matters. I really invite you to let this be a session where the noise, the confusion, the upside down ideas of the outside, blessed, well-meaning, fear-based world goes quiet. When we stop pretending that everything on our to-do list is that important, and we remember what's truly important, what feels like life force, what connects us to our hearts and means we can act from that place. Our children, our babies, the animals, our beings, our sacred sensitivity, the earth, the plants, and aligning with that. And when we create the life that makes our soul sing, we are serving everyone else and everything else in the natural world. And coming back to the sacred sites, I've been on pilgrimage, as you may well know, for the past 6 months, going to these energetic power points so far within the British Isles on our planet. And I discovered, and I went there because I got the guidance to go there and discover what they teach us about healing. And what I also discovered was that these places are portals for divine knowing. They are like these big old super highways, basins of God's voice, or goddess's voice, or the song of nature. And we go there and we hear that, and we hear our own inner knowing. Earth pyramids, temples, standing stones. When we connect to them, we know. And this is what you're going to connect into today. And I'm going to support you to do that. And it's going to be so powerful. So take a breath with that. Elaine is saying, I'm going through the disillusion of my marriage. I would like to welcome my new life, my independence, my boundaries, and let go of fear that I might not have enough money. Oh, Elaine, that's so powerful. Aho. Yes, yes, yes. Kathy says, I feel something almost brittle holding me back. It doesn't seem like it's fear, but I can't figure it out. Ah, that's such a wonderful somatic description there, Kathy, and I invite you to really honor that that's come up. And in this moment, that's all you need to know. And this session will shed more light on it for you. So I'm excited for that. All right, everybody, taking a breath. And putting an energetic circle of care around us all now, everybody on the live, everybody on the replay. This is sacred, safe, somatic space. You are safe to share what feels aligned for you to share in it. And may clear, bright, grounded, miraculous knowings arise here to guide you today. Aho. Okay, beautiful one. Oh, Mattia, welcome, welcome. So 4 steps to create the life you are ravenous for. Step number 1, you've already taken it. Step number 1 lies in acknowledging and owning that there is a no in your body. And the no in your body can very, very quickly lead to a yes. But there has been a no. There is a new desire in you. There is something, again, that's arisen. Something that doesn't feel quite right in your life. And again, it might feel like a really big thing to you. It might feel like a little thing. You might be aware of frustration or boredom or tiredness, or you might be aware of despair. All of it's okay. And as human beings, it's very normal for us to resist this part of the process. We resist the dissatisfaction. We resist that nudge towards the new, and yet it's all okay. You might have been feeling so upside down, so like a different person than you used to be of late. We are in the great unraveling. We have come here at this time to rebirth our world, to move from fear and lies and return to love. And there was always going to be some chaos. There was always going to be some discombobulation. There was always going to be things that didn't feel right and that caused us to step and leap and flow into the new. And it's very, very good. So take a breath with that, and if it feels aligned for you, bring a hand to your heart space in your belly. And with great, great love for yourself here, acknowledge what it is that's brought you here today, the thing in your life that you're ready to be different, or the thing that you're calling in. Now, for me, this no arose in my early 20s. So 15 years ago, I was making it as an actress. I had this beautiful life that I'd planned out since I was 9 years old. And my body kept shutting down. Yeah, for you guys, the no in your body, it might feel like a subtle or emotional or a subtle physical no. Something is off. For me, at the point when I was finally ready to acknowledge it, it was despair. Because I was resisting it. Because deep down in my gut, I knew that there was nothing wrong with my body. She was not broken. She was guiding me. And she was guiding me even though I had this life that was so beautiful in so many ways. There was a part of my soul that was singing, that had woken up. And this is the case for so many of us at this point now, 2023, because we've become aware after these 3 years that we've just had of our holding patterns, the things that we've been doing, the ways of being in our life that kept us feeling relatively content or calm or like we fit in or we're acceptable or okay, maybe a little bit numbed out or dissociated in our life. And that was needed and it was good. And there was a certain level for many of us of even joy within that. And now it's time for something new. We are here to live these lives that we really came here for. to show our children how to live lives of aliveness, to recreate our world. And this means that we have been remembering our soul promise. What it is that we said that we would feel, experience, do, and create in this lifetime. And that's here now, and we can't forget it. And it might be here just with a feeling, I gotta be less in pain, or I gotta feel more alive. I gotta have more playfulness, more presence in my life. I need to be able to feel it when I'm with my children. I need to be able to feel it when I see the dawn. Or it might be, again, you knowing there is a new thing that you need, want, and desire. And for me, when my soul started to sing what it was deep down, I knew that I had had lifetimes and lifetimes of doing and creating and producing and being active and mothering and grandmothering. And this was the time for me to stop, for me to drop in and connect to the woman that I truly am in this lifetime. And to really allow my body to heal and to become radically alive again. And from that aliveness, to grow the life that makes my soul dance. And so I have, and so I am, and so is here. But for 5 years in my early 20s, I wasn't ready to acknowledge that until on the 18th of September 2012, I finally allowed myself to acknowledge that I was in so much distress that I did not want to continue living while this fatigue and this block kept happening in my body. And so I went into my bedroom in my Hampstead apartment and I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, I've got you. And I knew that my life was never going to be the same again and that I'd stepped onto the golden pathway of my body, heart, and soul. And that incredible things beyond what my mind could even plan or comprehend were about to happen. And they have. And they are. And for me, that has been the past 10 years of my life, following my body, trusting that flow, trusting what feels like a yes, like aliveness in my being. And for me, my magical life of aliveness looks like deep presence. It looks like connection, community, abundance, love. It looks like joy. It looks like anger. It looks like sadness. It looks like allowing what's here and having space for that. And the most miraculous thing of all for me, the thing that my head said, would have said was impossible 10 years ago, is that my social life, my family life, my business grows out of what my body needs. And to me, that's magic. And this is my magical life of aliveness. And yours will look and feel different for you. And that's what I'm here to support you to step into today. And I'm wondering how this is landing for you. Feel free to check in the box. Does it feel possible for you? Can you sense what this life that you're wanting is feeling like? Maybe it's largely already here. The second step in the creation of the life that makes your soul sing is acknowledging your worthiness to have it. And our sense of unworthiness can come in all sorts of shapes and forms. For me, it was middle-class guilt. It was, I can't possibly have this much pain and fatigue in my body because I'm privileged. Look at my life, look at my life. And I'm a caretaker. I take care of other people. I can't take space for healing. What a pile of shit. What a pile of shit. I was serving nobody being in that place of half deadness, right? Half aliveness. No. So in this session, I'm going to support you to really, really take a deep breath with your worthiness to have this life that you're desiring, right? Tilly says that there's a deep sadness coming up, a feeling of emptiness in your womb. Relates to the obvious, perhaps. I'm 42 now. I haven't had the energy to have children. I feel so sad about it. I want to find what I can do in this life. A new song for my soul, maybe. Yeah, Tilly, I hear that. It's so beautiful to hear your truth, and I'm sorry that it's sad. And also, I invite you to hold and cradle that and welcome yourself to be exactly where you are. I have no doubt that you're on your soul's path. And your soul song is here in the process of being birthed, simply by you speaking this and being the woman that you are. Let's all take a breath of acknowledgement for that. And seeing how it relates to you. What's your truth at this moment? What are you desiring? How do you want to feel? Step 3 in the creation of the life that feels like your soul song lies in you living according to the yes in your body. Let's say that again. You living according to the yes in your body. And practically on a moment to moment basis, that means you tuning into what feels good, making the choices according to what brings aliveness in your being. And I'm going to support you to feel that, to know that, and to follow that in this session. And then step 4 in the creation of this life is making the commitment to yourself to live in the way that makes your soul dance, one breath at a time. And for some reason, saying that, it makes me want to like sling my arms up in the air. It might sound really obvious. Why wouldn't we make that choice to live according to what feels enlivening in our bodies? But the truth is that many of us have made the commitment not to do that. We might, for example, be afraid to flow with true aliveness and joy because we're afraid to be as powerful as we'll be when that happens. People might not like us. Or we might be afraid to live rambunctiously happily because there's somebody in our life that isn't, and maybe we're not taking enough of the weight if we're happy. And it's bullshit. It's all of these ridiculous ideas that we've learned in this upside down world, which are now cracking and falling away, and we have to let them. And if you don't want to make the choice to live according to what lights up your body, what brings vitalizing, what makes joy here, you totally don't have to make that choice. There is no judgment. Well, there's a little bit of judgment. There is a part of me, and it's the part of me that says it to the whole of the world. What are we doing? Again, what are we here for? A Course in Miracles, the metaphysical text says happiness is your only function. This is how we create the world we want to live in for ourselves and for others. But my soul self does not judge you, whatever choice you're making here. But if you don't want to live according to what lights you up from the inside, you might want to leave this session now, because this is what I'm supporting you to do. Okay. And I can see that we have lots of comments here. Wendy says, thank you for sharing your story. Hearing it makes me feel so beautiful and alive. Oh, Wendy, you are beautiful. I'm so glad. Gigi says, some days I can feel it, other days it's muted or not there. G, are you referring to your energy, to your life force? Sylvia says, emotion is energy in motion. So the joy of being alive is connecting us with joy everywhere and in everything. Absolutely. That is absolutely it, right? Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, great. Thank you for clarifying, Gigi. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. May it become a bright, clear beacon for you. Okay, everyone. So again, if you feel to chat in the box what is here for you before we embark on our embodiment journey together, go ahead. Again, I'm curious to know the life that you are ravenous for. Can you sense it in your spidey senses? Are you ready to take the next step to bring it to be? What part of you believes that it's possible? Is there a part of you still that is doubtful? And just notice. Just notice. What is here for you? What is true for you? What's arisen? What's arising? Elaine says I'm desiring to claim the rambunctious part of myself, that part that makes my soul sing and dance. Yes! Kathy says I can sense it and I want to take it to the next step, definitely. Part that is doubtful because it feels like a void. I hear that, Kathy. Yeah, and all of these parts get to be here. The journey holds them all. Jian says, dancing my own intuitive dance rather than following someone else's step or music. Oh, let's all take a wiggle for dancing our own intuitive dance rather than following somebody else's steps or music. Oh, how does that feel in your body? What is your dance? What is your rhythm? Thank you for that catalyzing comment, Jian. Oh, and with that beautiful comment there, let us go into our embodiment journey. So this will be at least 10 minutes, dear ones. So my invitation for you is to get comfy, as comfortable as you can be. So you might want to lie or sit or stand or be moving. And let your eyes close. Seeing your roots going down into the earth. And see them made out of a kind of flexible silver. Going down, down, down into the earth, heavy, sacred, winding around earth and roots and crystal and volcanic matter. And with your exhales, letting your roots be heavier again and letting yourself be held by the furniture, the ground, essentially Mother Earth. And breathing with your body here. And as I guide you now to tune into your body, to the different parts of your body, we're going to do a gentle sweep through. You might even want to move those bits, or you might want to bring hands there, right? So again, closing down the eyes if that feels good to you, if you've not done it already. And taking a breath with your feet and your legs. Hello. With your hips and your pelvic bowl and your torso and your back, really dropping back down into your back. With your belly or womb, heart space, shoulders, arms and hands, neck and throat and head and face. Hello, incredible vessel. Let your next breath be filled with reverence for yourself, for your sacred aliveness in your skin, in your heart, in your fingertips. These incredible tools, this technology that's been with you ever since you were a baby. And take a breath now with what it is that's brought you here today. The thing that you're saying no to, or the thing, experience of desire for something new. Honoring that, and with your next breath, noticing where you are physically in your living space, what's around you. You don't need to look, just knowing. And on our next exhale, all of us together, we're going to welcome the body to soften, and in our mind's eye, we are reappearing in an ancient woodland. It's full of trees that are 2,000 years old. And in the center, there's a clearing, and in the clearing is one majestic, moonlit standing stone. And simply by looking at it, you know that this standing stone is flowing with the life force of all of the sacred sites on the planet. So, the pyramids of Egypt, temples of Mexico, stone circles in Britain, the megaliths in France, pyramids in Bosnia, and many, many more. They are all sitting on ley lines, so energy walkways, like the veins of the earth, they are sitting on all over her surface. And this standing stone that you can see is on the earth at the point where all of these ley lines meet. Take a breath with that. And as you're ready in your mind's eye, go up to the stone and put your hands on it. And feel how exquisitely full of life force it is. How does that feel for you? It might feel like fresh, bright waterfall, flowing gust of air. It might feel like something completely else. How does it feel for you? When energy moves through your body in this way, when the energy that sustains all of life moves through your body from feet to crown, from earth to ether, in the way that it is moving through this standing stone, for you it will feel like joy, or like aliveness, or it may simply feel like truth. It will feel expansive, it will feel like flow. And notice how this standing stone is making this somatic transmission to your body right now, reminding her how your energy has the capacity to flow. And you might viscerally feel that in your body in this moment. Or you might experience it more like an image in your mind's eye. That's how it can feel in my body. And I want you to take a breath now with your worthiness to experience this in your life. This is how your life will feel when you are living the life that makes your soul dance. Your life, your magical life of aliveness, the one that feels like your fingerprint, nobody else's. You are worthy of that. It's your birthright simply because you are. And if it feels aligned, bring a hand to your heart space in your belly now. And say out loud or in your mind, I choose to create the life that brings me vibrant joy. For you, the words might be slightly different. I commit to create the life that brings vitality to my body. I choose to create the life that brings me vibrant joy. Notice how it feels as you say that. Yes. And I want you with your next breath now to let your awareness come to the part of your body where you can feel life force most strongly. Tingling in the toes, softness in the palms of the hands, all over ecstasy. Or it might feel like an allowing of something that needs to flow, anger, sadness, letting yourself be tired. When you allow your body to flow as she wants to flow, how does that feel? And in this moment, where do you see life force most vibrantly inside of you? This experience is your body, yes. See it, feel it, let it flow. And let it take 10% more space in your body now. Somatic wings spreading. Maybe you find that you want to move. Ooh, maybe you want to make a sound. Maybe you're taking some deep breaths with that aliveness. Perhaps it's a joy or an ecstasy or a fire or a water in your body, letting it take space. Maybe you want to move, wiggle your hips. And again, with your next breath, allow this vitality in your body in whatever form it is here with you right now to take 10% more space. This is your body, yes. See it, feel it, let it flow. And now let this question drop into your being. When you let your body, yes, lead the way in your life, today, tomorrow, this year, who are you? How do you feel? What is happening in your life? Everything is possible here. We have moved into an energetic slipstream collectively on the planet at this time. Doorways are opening, boulders are melting, our minds are taking a back seat. Everything is possible when you allow your body, yes. When you let that lead the way, when you make that your priority in your life as far as you are possibly able, what's happening? How is your life evolving? Are you healing? Are you showing up in a new way? Are you creating things, making changes, welcoming new things into your world? And this might show up in your awareness now as a very clear vision, or it might show up as a feeling, as a color, as a symbol. What's here for you? Breathing with that. Breathing with this, your life of aliveness. And I want you to take a somatic Polaroid now, letting this expansiveness in your body take all the space that it needs and wants, and making a click, a memory of how this feels for you. And my invitation for you, radically, is to create the life that brings you vibrant joy by letting this feeling guide you. What turns you on, what sparks joy. And I invite you daily for at least the next 10 days to take a breath in the morning with this felt sense experience, the memory of it, and with the commitment that you've made today to create this beautiful life, to prioritize letting your felt sense yes lead the way. Take a breath with that. And of course, you can come back to this recording as often as you need to remember this, to root in, to keep you on track. And I'm just so excited for how this will nourish your life in ways that you've not yet even imagined, right? And now, if you're moving, I invite you to come to stillness and taking a breath back down into your roots here, thanking your body and thanking the standing stone for guiding you and giving you this transmission today. And in your mind's eye, stepping away from the standing stone, feet on the earth, and with your next breath, finding yourself back in your living space. thanking yourself for taking this powerful journey, knowing what you know in your heart, life will never be the same again, and bringing some light into your eyes, wiggling the fingers and toes. Hello, welcome back. And stay in touch with your body as you're transitioning back into the room, back to the screen. And I do invite you to chat in the box to share what arose for you. To share what arose for you. How was it for you to connect to the standing stone? Connect to your body? Was your body's yes what you expected? Do you feel like you're on track with the creation of this life now? Is there still a gremlin here that'd be like, what? You flowing with rainbows? Are you rooting with wood? What's here? What's here? Sylvia says, endless creation in golden spiral light, writing, singing, and dancing. That's so beautiful. Ema says, I felt at one with the standing stones bathed in moonlight. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Wonderful. Elaine says, I had 100% knowing I am stepping into vibrant joy. Wonderful. Wendy, I saw myself filled with bright white light, being the beauty that I am. Aho, Wendy. And you who has a number for your name, flowing waves of warm energy, beautiful. Gabriella. It was beautiful, but I could feel my ego trying to sabotage, planting doubt. I'm sure the more I do it, the more clarity I will get. Yes, I hear that. Kristen, thank you so much. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Kathy, I felt like I was in the same space as the standing stone. Beautiful. You're welcome. And Gabriella, yeah, your comment speaks to something very, very potent here. And, you know, guys, if you've received nourishment in this session, if it has given you something that you need, then I invite you to prick up your ears, let your spidey sense reach out, because I have an invitation for you now, which it could be exactly what you are wanting and needing at this time. Ooh, so in the coming months, I am holding space for a small group of women to take a powerful embodiment journey with me. And if you choose to take part, you're going to learn to live in such fierce alignment with your body's aliveness that you will find yourself in the midst of the life that makes your soul dance. So I'm going to share my screen with you now so you can see what I'm talking about. Please do chat in the box and let me know that you can see my screen share. Now, can you see it? Meow, 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 meow. Yes, yes, wonderful. Thank you, beauty. Meow, meow, meow. Okay, okay, awesomeness. So this is channeled by your body. This is a 4-month embodiment program for women in which you're going to create the life that you're ravenous for, right? And I've Created it because this is a time on earth now like none we have ever had before. So many of us are called with bright, shining eyes and knowing wounds to evolve our lives. And I created it because in the summer I got the guidance to channel not only my expertise, my work as a somatic coach, but also my life experience from the past 10 years of following my body for aliveness and joy to channel everything that I've discovered into this beautiful program so that you can do it too. Right. So take a breath with that. And I've created this program because, yeah, as we've said, it's very likely that a part of you is here going, yep, it is time. It's time for me to create the life that feels a certain way, or bring that thing into my life, or shift how I relate to my being, or whatever it is for you. And there's a part of you very likely going, really? There's a part that is afraid. As human beings, we both crave and resist change in equal measure. And I stayed stuck and in pain for 5 years, and I don't want that stuckness for you, right? So as you tune into these parts of you, I'm curious if you're aware of this part of you that can sometimes perhaps create anxiety in your system when you think about change. Or the part, as I said, that might say things like, who are you to want that? You're deluded. Nobody lives that way, right? Or maybe, it's possible for you that you're ready, that you are absolutely chomping at the bit, and that you simply want somebody who knows the territory, who's done this before, to be there, to guide you, to support you. And that is me. As I said, I have funneled the tools, the love, the strategy, the map that I've discovered these past 10 years into this wonderful program. And if you choose to take your place in it, you're going to find that you are so connected to the woman you are, that every action and every breath you take roots you deeper into the life that delights your soul. And it's really important to say also that you're going to take this journey in a way that feels easeful. It's not about pushing and forcing. And I am going to share the link for this, dear ones, in the chat. So you can go right ahead and have a look as I'm talking here. Ooh! So this is channeled by your body. This 4-month program in which you will gather with a group of visionary women in 9 live sessions over 4 months. And there's going to be opportunity for lots of personalized coaching with me. You're going to stay connected and supported to me and to each other between the sessions as well in our private community group. You're going to learn this way of being that leads you organically away from what feels wrong in your life and creates the existence of your dreams. And you're going to discover what the most wonderful thing you can do to evolve your life is, and do it. So whether for you that's a practical or somatic or esoteric thing, whether it's gentle or strong, big or little, over our 14 weeks together, you'll make one wonderful shift in 4 clear, easeful steps. Well, they will be as easeful as they can be. They'll be exactly what you need and what your body needs. And a big, beautiful part of the course is supporting you to stay grounded and calm in times of change. You're going to receive tools and strategies so that your nervous system stays regulated. And the sacred sites, they are going to be part of this course to support your journey. So in each session, you will receive transmission from one of the sites on the planet, and it will always be one that I've been to. So you're really receiving this clear transmission from this place, whether it's Avebury Henge and stone circles, or the original standing place of Stonehenge, or the pyramids of Giza, or whichever one it is. Your capacity to hear the voice of your soul, the voice of Mother Earth, the voice of the universe is going to be deeply catalyzed by these transmissions. Yeah. And you're going to heal. And this will be true for you, whether for you it's emotional healing or physical healing. And, if you're one who is journeying with chronic illness or perhaps pain or fatigue, it's really important that I note that. Oh, Ema, thanks. Yeah, looks amazing. Absolutely. It's really important that I speak to you for a moment, because it's possible that you're thinking, well, I can't have this life of aliveness because I've got this obstacle in my body. And to you, I say, no, it's the exact opposite, right? When we are living, and I know this because I've been journeying with chronic fatigue and post-traumatic stress disorder, when we are journeying with strong challenges in our body, this is a deep gift, because that is our body saying no to something. And within this program, you're going to discover what it is she's saying no to. And you're going to discover how she is guiding you to her yes. And your soul has had such a clear desire to experience this in this lifetime, your body's yes, the life that feels like your fingerprint, that she said, I'm going to have this really clear guide, this really clear block, this really clear thing in my body which I can't ignore. So I have to get in alignment with my soul, with my booty, with my body, with my soma in this lifetime. And that's what this course will support you to do. Right. So take a breath with that. Kathy, yeah, great. I'm glad you think so. So, okay. So, as I said, over the 4 months, we have 9 live sessions, and there will always be replays, recordings of these for you. And FYI, we'll gather in Zoom video meetings. So you'll be able to see me, I'll be able to see you, you'll be able to see each other. We'll have our private community group where in between sessions, you're sharing, you're asking questions, you're seeing, you're being witnessed, you're hearing. And you're also going to take soul action or soul play in between sessions, which means you're taking these steps, these 4 embodied action or inaction steps that it is time for you to take to evolve your life. And partly how you're going to be supported to do that is you'll receive these downloadable guided practices from me, which you'll use in between sessions to keep you on track with your soul. Right? Okay, awesomeness. And yes, so the link is in the chat. You can come to the page if you haven't already, and you can see some of this testimonials here for me from my past courses. Now, so yes, 4-month path. We'll meet on Wednesdays, the time that we've met today. You can see all the dates here. We meet every 2 weeks, except for 1 3-week window when I'm going to be in the Paskell Mountains in the States. Sessions will be 90 to 120 minutes long. Michelle, I'm glad you think it's beautiful. Yeah. Okay. If you are already feeling a yes to this, I invite you to come on over here and take your place. You can find the buttons to register quite near the bottom of the page. And the first 3 people who register by the end of the day today, LA time, will receive the Body Yes bonus. Now, the Body Yes bonus is a bonus one-to-one session with me. And this is a soul singing joy session in which you're going to dissolve the number 1 block that stops you from prioritizing your body's vitality, your body's yes, your body's joy, right? We all have them, whether it's we are wedded to hard work, or we're always taking care of other people's needs, or we're not as connected as we would like to be to our precious body and how she expresses joy. Whatever is true for you, you're going to discover what the block is, and you're going to find freedom from its binds. Let's all have a wiggle with that. You are going to find freedom from its binds. You're going to open to radically delighted living for vitality and flow. And you're going to receive your embodied action or inaction steps to open the floodgates and welcome happiness and aliveness into your life over the coming month and beyond. So if you are feeling a yes already, come on over, take your place. I can't wait to meet with you for our first session, and we begin February 15th. And yes, registration is open for 10 days until February 4th. And okay, so if you come to the landing page, you will see all the beautiful details about the curriculum. And I could never possibly say everything now. You can come here and have a look, and I'll touch on some of the most important pieces now. So, okay, sessions 1 and 2, they're really buddies, they're really sisters. So we have faith foundations and we have clear in the midst of fear, right? So take a breath right now with the part of you that is ready and raring to create this beautiful life, knows it's possible, knows it's your birthright. And also take a breath with the part of you that can get afraid, that can pull you down, that can doubt, and that could possibly even take you off this path, could halt you in your tracks, right? So these 2 sessions are going to work with the fact that you have these 2 parts to mean that you are so rooted in faith, you are so supported to return to regulation and clarity and the voice of love and the voice of the universe, that even when fear rears its head, you're going to be fine. You're going to get back into alignment and on track with your soul. And you can come to the landing page here and see all of the beautiful tools you're going to receive, the guides that you're going to connect with, the steps you're going to take, the sacred sites that you'll connect with. And I'm just going to put in my headphones here, make sure that you can hear me really clearly. And take a breath now as I put it in, because it always makes that scratchy noise. Could one of you just give me a chat in the box to let me know that you can still hear me here? And okay, so sessions 3 and 4, right? This is where it gets really, really exciting. I see a chat. Awesomeness. This is where it gets super exciting. Okay, that's awesome, Elaine. Yeah. So this is where the shifts are really starting to happen in your life. So we have life rebirth, steps 1 and step 2. And within them, you're going to clarify the woman that you really are today, okay? And you're going to receive your sacred somatic instructions. You're going to discover this beautiful shift that it is time to make in your life according to your body, according to your soul. And you're going to take the first loving step to bring it to be. You're going to take the first step to bring it to be. And again, you can come to the landing page, you can see the beautiful ways that you're being supported to do that. And I just realized that I forgot to say, and I want to say this, part of your soul action from session 2 is that you are going to take your body guided journey of joy in between sessions. And that's going to be as delicious as it sounds. And then session 3, your soul action is to make a real world visit to a sacred site. And that might be the tree at the bottom of your garden. It might be a standing stone 3 hours from you. You're going to go there and receive guidance on creating this life of your soul song. I had to tell you that. Okay. And sessions 5 and 7, again, they're buddies and they go together. So we've got surrender to joy and we've got trusting the plan. And just notice how those words land for you. Now, these sessions bring your body's answer to humanity's question, which on a global level we are asking at this time. How do I marry my body's impulses with previously made plans? How do we marry the masculine with the feminine, the linear with the cyclical, the doing with the being, right? And this is where you're going to make incredible leaps and you're going to discover ways of taking steps in your life that are completely miraculous. When I started to surrender to joy and to my body's guidance in my life, I found that there were so many other ways of doing and creating than pushing and forcing. And whatever it is that you're needing, whether you're needing support to slow down more, to allow yourself to be more cyclical, to trust, to be receptive, to welcome miracles, or whether you're one who needs support to be accountable, to stick to what you want to be doing it. I've got your back either way. I bring these both pieces. I am an utterly body-led being, and I like to do things. I like to create things. I like things to get done. So whatever you're needing, I've got your back, and these sessions have got your back. And then sessions 4 and session 6 and session 8. So we've got Ocean of Love and Powerful Infinite You. These are all about you aligning with the life that feels like joy and aliveness to you through self-love, through spaciousness, through allowing. And then in session 8, through connecting to your infinite nature. And there's going to be such a beautiful, powerful transmission in this session from the Pyramid of Giza, the Great Pyramid of Giza, where you're going to learn about the sacred geometry present at this site, and the fact that your body and brain contain the same minerals that are in the pyramids, and what this means for your life. And all the way through these beautiful sessions, you are guided to take these gorgeous action steps that are rebirthing your life. And then final session, this is your celebratory and your integrative session, Toast with Your Soul. So take a breath with that now. Take a breath with the part of you that can already taste, sense, feel this beautiful life, the life that feels like your fingerprint. So in this session, you are going to celebrate. You're going to shower yourself and your sisters with love. You're going to make a plan to keep using the tools that you've gained over these 4 months so that you're still living in alignment with your soul, with your body's joy. And you're going to celebrate having created the life that makes your soul dance. You are going to celebrate having created the life that makes your soul dance. So take a breath with that. And let's all ground back into the body here. See what's alive for you. This is going to be such a beautiful, loving, visceral, grounded, miraculous, transformative journey. And now we talk about the investment, right? So my being knows that this course is worth at least £777, at least, and I want it to be accessible. So for the next 10 days until the 4th of February, you can get this whole course for just £355, right? And with this, you get the full group program, you get the private online course portal and the community group, all of it. And also, if you are feeling that you would love an even more supported and even more nourishing journey in this program, then you can take the level 2 option. And with this, you get everything that I just said, plus a one-to-one embodied fire session with me. And this embodied fire session, within it, you are going to tune in to your body's wilderness, to her volume, her quiet, her unique guiding voice. You're going to say what you have not had the courage to say before about who you are, what you desire and what you're here to do. And you're going to access your knowing that this and even more is possible in your life. And you're going to get crystal clarity on your next embodied action or inaction step to bring that to be. Right? Yum. Yum. Okay, dear ones. And we also have payment plan options. So, as I said, you can come to the program and take your place at either the level 1 or the level 2 option. Or if you would prefer to do it as a payment plan, the level 1 payment plan is just 4 payments of £99. And the level 2 is 4 payments of £144. Right? So wonderful. Okay, so you can come on over. I'll put the link in the chat again. I'm going to stop the share here. Kathy, can we use Ellie, Vimo, PayPal, credit card? Yeah, you can use PayPal, you can use credit card. Absolutely. So you can come on down, whichever way works for you. Okay. Wonderful. You're welcome. Okay. So the link for the landing page there is in the chat. So yeah, I invite you to go on over, claim one of those Body Yes bonuses. This bonus one-to-one session with me, your soul singing joy session. Tilly says, I just signed up. I'm super excited. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, Daphne, I'm glad you think so. Oh, Tilly, I'm so glad to welcome you. Wonderful, wonderful. And feel free, everyone, to put any questions that you have in the chat box. Right. Now that was a lot of words. It was a lot of words. So whether you are signing up, whether you know that one of those Body Yes bonuses is yours, and Tilly, you have one, or whether you're reading the landing page, or you're simply present with my voice, take a breath and remember that you are in a body. You're with your body, and she is breathing. And see what is here. If there is a yes, if there is a curiosity, an expansion, I think there's something there for me. I invite you to honor that and take your place in this program and get one of these bonus sessions if you do it quick. And maybe, maybe you have a full out rowdy loud yes. Zzz. Or maybe you have a yes and there's a bit of fear. And I invite you to, if that's the case for you, to investigate what the fear is about. Because sometimes when fear is present, it's simply a sign that we are on our edge. And that something really good and nourishing and expansive is beckoning us, something that does keep us or bring us more fiercely on track with our souls. These are the days for leaping. If there is expansion in your body when you think about taking this course, there is no limit to where it will lead you. Yeah. So breathing with your body, breathing with your heart. Opening to freedom, opening to joy. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Any comments. And now we're all here together in this beautiful space. And breathe with your roots also. Letting yourself ground. Letting yourself be heavy. Softening, breathing, rooting. Honoring the very essence of the being that you are. And with your next breath, let it be an honoring of your aliveness, of this incredible guide that your body is. So registration for this beautiful 4-month course for women is open just until the 4th of February. Let us take a breath now and begin to close. It has been an absolute honor for me to hold space for you all today. I can't wait to welcome those of you who are taking your place to come and join. Tilly says, I almost just can't wait to get started. Feels like I've been sitting on the edge of a beautiful crystal cold lake, just dipping my toe in and afraid to take the plunge. I think a lot of my resistance was fear of taking this journey alone. As you were speaking, Ellie, that fear just melted away and I felt passion flooding in its place. I feel like my main challenge will be staying grounded through this excitement, so thank you for offering this grounding reminder just now. Super excited. Yeah, that's so wonderful, Tilly. Yeah, you're stepping into something incredible here. Yeah. Okay, dear one. Cassie, you're so welcome. And again, feeling into your roots here. And we are with your sensitivity, the incredible guide that your body is, guiding you with skin and heart and belly and womb and intuition and desire and yes and no. And I want you to take a breath with the journey that you've been on this past 75 minutes. Breathing with this thing, this part, this voice in your body that has said no to something and yes to something else, right? Tuning into the worthiness, the fact that it is your birthright to create the life that makes your soul dance. That you serve not only yourself, your own joy and aliveness, but everyone else and everything else in the natural world when you do. The way that you've tuned into your body, yes, and take a breath with that now, with that somatic Polaroid that you took earlier. That beacon, that guiding light. How was that for you, your body, yeah? And maybe you receive specific visions, specific knowings about what you know it is time to create in your life, to feel, to do, to shift. Or maybe for you it was an overarching colour or symbol or sensation. Yes, this, my beautiful life of aliveness, this, the life that feels like my fingerprint, the rhythm of my soul and nobody else's, right? and the commitment that you've made to following your body, yes, to living in the way that makes your soul dance, to living in the way that makes your soul dance. And remember that this journey, it's only ever about following what feels good, one breath at a time. My invitation to you is to let that be your beacon today, tomorrow, this week, this month, at least for the next 10 days. And in your heart now, tuning in not only to the fact that you've been on this journey today with yourself, your own being, but also with everybody present, live and on the replay, dozens or hundreds of people, definitely hundreds depending on whether you're a month in the future or whether you're 2 years in the future. Yeah. And letting your next breath honor your journey, our journey, as we rebirth our world, right? As we rebirth our world. So I'm going to pop my email and the link to the course program one more time in the chat. So you can come over, take your place, claim your Body Yes bonus if you're quick. And email me if you have any questions. Okay, so those are in the chat there. Wonderful. And if you have got your eyes closed, I invite you to let them open. Or you can keep them closed if you want to stay present with your body for longer. And maybe you want to bring some wiggles to your fingers and your toes. And I would love to hear how you're feeling as we close down the session today, if you feel to share. Breathing with your body. Breathing with your root. Honoring the incredible being that you are. Katie says, present and alive, thank you. Daphne says, much more grounded and settled, thank you, you're so welcome. All right, dear one. Well, I'm wishing you just such a beautiful onward journey with your body. I'm sending you best wishes and really warm goodbyes. To those of you who are taking your place on the course, I can't wait to see you there. We begin the 15th of February. Registration is open just until the 4th of February. Deanne says, peaceful and alive, trusting the truth of my body and soul. Wonderful. Gigi says, thank you. You're so welcome. Tilly says, thank you everyone for being present today. I feel more spacious and full of possibilities. Yes to possibilities. Yes to the life that you are ravenous for. I am Ellie Paskell, and I will see you soon.